Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents another exciting edition of Fall Classic. The 1983 final week is on the air. Only 4 days left in the 1983 regular season. Today's date is September 29th, 1983. We are back at Memorial Stadium for a huge American League East matchup between the Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. The Tigers come to this game a record of 92-66. The Orioles are 94-63. Let's take a look at the standings. In the American League East, the New York Yankees have already clinched home field throughout. The Baltimore Orioles are in second, 2.5 games ahead of Detroit. The Tigers are in third, but only a full game ahead of Milwaukee. So a very important game here as the Tigers still trying to stay ahead of the Brewers, who are right on their necks. In the American League West, the Chicago White Sox have already clinched that division, and they are the number 2 seed no matter what. The Texas Rangers are 81-77. They need to win one more game in 4 days to clinch a playoff berth, and they will be the 5. They would play, of course, the number 4 seed, which could be Detroit or Baltimore, in one wild card game in the American League. In the American League, the National League East, the Montreal Expos have clinched that division. Their magic number is 3 to clinch home field overall in the National League. The Phillies are the number 3 seed. That will not change. In the National League West, the Atlanta Braves, they are the West champions. They are the number 2 seed. They are still a little bit behind the Expos to try to clinch number 1 throughout the National League. But we got a big log jam in the West. San Diego, Los Angeles, and Houston. Only a game and a half separates those 3 teams from 2 playoff spots. The Padres, they have a doubleheader against the Dodgers in 10-minute ticker. If they get to 82 wins, if they win both games, they will clinch. The Dodgers, however, only a half game ahead of the Astros, but the Astros right now are at 500. The Astros cannot lose more than 2 games. The Dodgers cannot lose more than 3. That is how things stand as we go into today's game. Jim Doyle is first to join us here at Memorial Stadium. The Tigers historically won this game 9-4. They had 14 hits and no errors. The Orioles had 10 hits and 3 errors. They had a pretty ugly day. But we know that Fall Classic sometimes can give you some strange results once in a while. And that's one of the reasons why I have really fallen in love with the game. Inside pitch is my number 1, but now Fall Classic is definitely becoming number 2. And they will be sharing the spotlight in the postseason. So we got a good matchup here between the Tigers and the Orioles. Who will have if the Orioles win today and Milwaukee loses, the Orioles clinch a playoff berth. We'll see what happens tonight. Let's take a look and see what we got. We go to the top of the first. Starting pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles tonight is Mike Flanagan. 12 wins, 4 losses, a 133 whip. He will be a B pitcher tonight. So the Tigers going after a B pitcher, and we will see what happens here in Memorial Stadium. A full crowd knowing that the Orioles could actually clinch a playoff berth with a win here and a Brewers loss. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the first. Leading off for the Tigers, second baseman Lou Whitaker, who should be in the Hall of Fame. 320 average, 12 homers, 72 RBIs in 83. We're going to use orange, white, and black dice. Orioles are the home team. Fans here at Memorial Stadium are ready to cheer on the Blackbirds. The Cats will chase the Birds. What happens tonight? 44, and Whitaker will lead off with a base hit. He'll get a single into center field. And just like that, the Tigers start with a man on. Next up is the shortstop, Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer. He needs Whitaker in there. 319 average, 14 homers, 66 RBIs that season. Whitaker will hold it first. Pitch from Flanagan. 41, and he is a B pitcher, and that's a walk. So he's going to go ahead and walk Trammell. So already the Tigers starting with runners at first and second. First walk given up by Flanagan. Ginger Beer 327 joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Next batter is the left fielder, Larry Herndon, a 302 average, 20 homers, and 92 RBIs that season. Nobody out still, top of the first. The Tigers have runners at first and second to start the game. Pitch from Flanagan, 35, and that's going to be a base hit for Flanagan. That'll be a base hit for Herndon. Let's see what we get here. And that's going to be a base hit to center field. And Lou Whitaker, there's going to be an assist, so there's going to be a play at the plate. So Whitaker rounding third, Trammell goes to second, and Herndon on at first. But there is an assist here, so, and Trammell will go ahead and make it there. But it's an assist in the plate. That's hit to center field. That is Al Bunbury. The throw to the plate. Bunbury's assist rating is a 2. And he's got him, 1 out. Bunbury goes ahead and throws out Whitaker at the plate. What a throw by Al Bunbury to gun down Whitaker and Trammell. And first to third, others can risk. So Trammell actually will make third on the throw. Herndon, others can risk. He will stay at first, but there is 1 out. So it's a base hit for Herndon, but they don't get the run, and that's out number 1 as Whitaker is gunned down by Al Bunbury. Great play at the plate. Stadium cheers. Yay! Here comes the Detroit designated hitter, Lance Parrish, 269 average, 27 homers, 114 RBIs. He was bringing in the runs. 1 out, top of the first, no score. Flanagan will go ahead and pitch to Parrish. The Orioles are going to stay back. Parrish does hit it a double plays. That's a 31. That's going to be a range play, and that's a range play to center field. Going after that is Bunbury. Bunbury's range is an 8, and he will make the catch. That's out number 2. He'll make the catch. Trammell on at third, and he will automatically come in to score. It's an automatic sacrifice. All flyouts, runners on third score. So Trammell will come in. Herndon stays at first, but it's now 1-0 Tigers. But a great play by Bunbury to take a single away from Parrish, but the run does come in, and it's 1-0. That'll be a sacrifice fly to center, and now there are 2 away. Here comes the Tiger catcher, Johnny Walkenfuss. One of the greatest baseball names you'll ever know. 269 average, 9 homers, 44 RBIs. 2 men down now, but now it's 1-0 Tigers. Herndon still on at first. Flanagan, 41. That's a walk. He'll go ahead and walk Walkenfuss. And once again, another walk given up by Flanagan. Second walk of the inning. Here's the first baseman, Enos Cabell, 311 average, 5 homers, 46 RBIs in 83. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Tigers already up 1-0. Flanagan will deal. 15, that's going to be an out. It's a hard line drive right into right field, and that's going to be caught by Dan Ford, and that will retire the side. 1 run. 2 hits, 2 walks, and a sacrifice fly. But the Tigers have a 1-0 lead here going in the bottom of the first in this very important game in the American League East. Starting pitcher for the Detroit Tigers tonight is Milt Wilcox. He is also a B pitcher tonight. 11 wins, 10 losses, a 128 whip. So now we'll see if the Orioles can go ahead and play here. It's going to be both games as Davonine Giolet joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Yes, we're going to have both games in the system. Dice Baseball Digest. Tony Porter joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Here's Bunbury, 275 average, 3 homers, 31 RBIs. Wilcox is a B pitcher. for the game. 12, that's an out. It's going to be a grounded to first base. Easy play for Cabell, and he'll take it to the bag himself for the first out. Next up is the right fielder, Dan Ford, a 280 average, 9 homers, 55 RBIs. Dice Baseball Digest, of course, Tony Porter is the guru to Fall Classic Baseball, just like I'm the guru to Inside Pitch. Pitch from Wilcox, 65. That is a possible home run. Wilcox, a 1-11. That's a 4, and that's pretty much gone. Kaboom! That ball is high, deep, gone. Home run, Dan Ford. Stadium cheers. Yay! Dan Ford, a bad pitch by Wilcox as he went ahead and pitched him Ford a meatball, and he turns that into lasagna. We're tied at 1. And now here's the shortstop, Cal Ripken, Hall of Famer. You better believe it. 318 average, 27 homers, 102 RBIs, and yes, he did play in every game in 1983. Wilcox will pitch. 25, that's an out, fly ball to center field, and Chet Lemon will get to that, and he'll make the play, out number 2. Here's the first baseman, Eddie Murray, Hall of Famer. I'm pretty sure there are nobody that doubt him. 306 average, 33 homers, 111 RBIs in 83. Wilcox will go ahead and pitch. 22, a 1-11's a single. That's a 2, and it's going to be a base hit. Murray will get a hit, and he will hold it first. Here's the left fielder, John Lowenstein, 281 average, 15 homers, 60 RBIs in 83. Didn't he play every game in 1984 too? Yeah, and in 1985, 1986, 1987, 1988, 1989, 1990, 1991. I think 1992. I think you get the gist of it. Murray on at first. Wilcox will pitch. And that's a 45, and that's going to be an out. And that's 2 outs, actually. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. That'll be handled by Lemon as well. And he makes the catch and retires the side. 1 run on 2 hits. A solo bomb by Dan Ford. We're tied at 1 after 1 in this very big game here in the American League East. We go to the top of the second. Leading off for the Tigers will be Chet Lemon, probably the most underrated player in baseball history, although there's a lot of them that way. 255 average, 24 homers, 69 RBIs in 83. Flanagan, 61, and that is going to be a K, 1-4. That's a 6. That's going to be a ground out to short. No strikeout there. Handled easily by Ripken, and he'll throw it over to first. Here's the right fielder, Glenn Wilson, a 268 average, 11 homers, 65 RBI. Flanagan, a 56, and that'll be a strikeout. Got him. And that is the first K for Flanagan. He only had 50 strikeouts in 83. He only played in 20 games for the Orioles, too. I think he was injured part of the year. But that's the first strikeout for Flanagan, 2 down. And now a player that just didn't get any love from the Tigers, and that will be the third baseman, Tom Brookins. 214 average, 6 homers, 32 RBIs. Not a great hitter, but he could field. Pitch from Flanagan, and that's a 13. That's going to be an out. It's going to be grounded to first, and that'll be handled there by Murray. He'll take it to the bag himself and retire the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Cats. We go to the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Orioles will be their designated hitter, Ken Singleton. 276 average, 18 homers, 84 RBIs in 83. Nothing wrong with those stats. Wilcox will pitch. 22, and that's ball 4. He'll walk him. And Wilcox will give up the walk to Singleton First walk issued by Wilcox. And here's the second baseman, Rich Dower, 235 average, 5 homers, 41 RBIs. Bottom of the second, tied at 1, Tigers and O's. Wilcox, 36, that's going to be an out. And it will be that's a 6. That's going to be a line out to the shortstop. Hit hard to Trammell, but he grabs it. It's out number 1. Nice play by Trammell to glove that one. And now we'll see the third baseman, Todd Cruz, a 208 average, 3 homers, 27 RBIs with the Orioles in 83. He actually started somewhere else. 1 out, Singleton on at first. Pitch from Wilcox. 32, that's a double, 1-16. That's a 3, and that's what it is. It's a double. And that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be a double. Fast and slow runner holds. And Singleton is a slow runner. He will hold at third. Cruz will get to second. Runners at second and third, 1 out. An average runner said they can risk, but he'll hold there. So Cruz will get himself a double. And here's the catcher, Rick Dempsey, a 231 average, 4 homers, 32 RBI. John Haverly joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Singleton on at third, Cruz on at second, infield playing in for the Tigers. Wilcox, he'll go ahead and pitch. 56, and got him. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And that's the first strikeout for Wilcox. He had 101 of them in 83. Gets a big K on Dempsey. And now here's Bumbry. Bumbry is 0 for 1. Now 2 outs. The infield will play back. Singleton on at third. Cruz on at second. Very important game here. The Tigers are 2.5 games back of Baltimore for third. Milwaukee trails the Tigers by 1 game for third. So a lot still can happen in the 4 remaining days here of this 1983 season. Wilcox, 14. He'll get out of it. That's going to be an out. It's a fly ball to center. That'll be handled by Lemon. And he will make the catch and retire the side. No runs, a hit, and a walk. But the Orioles strand a couple. And it's still tied at 1 after 2. And I'm glad that Tony Porter is in the chat. I can always ask him questions. But because of the way he runs things and somehow some of the things I've taken from him as mods, okay, it makes Fall Classic even more streamlined. V-Dub Productions joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Top of the order for the Cats. Here's Lou Whitaker. He got a single his first time up, but got thrown out at the plate. Tied at 1, top of the third. Flanagan, 63, and that is going to be an out. It's a fly ball to right. Dan Ford will measure that. He'll take out the ruler, but he will make the catch. It's out number 1. Captain Carl 8 joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Here's Trammell. He walked his first time up. Flanagan, he will pitch. 43, and that's going to be a ground ball hit right to first, handled there by Murray, and Murray is actually, he's going to take it to the bag himself. That'll be out number 2. So 2 down. And now here's Herndon. Herndon got a base hit his first time up. Flanagan will deal. And 45, and that's going to be an out. It's a comebacker right back to Flanagan. He'll take care of it. Toss it over. Retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Cats. We go to the bottom of the third. Leading off for the Blackbirds will be Dan Ford. He got a bomb his first time up. 1-1 tie, bottom of the third. Pitch from Wilcox, 23. Swing and a miss, struck him out. He'll get Ford, and that's the second K for Wilcox. Here's Ripken. Ripken is 0 for 1. Hockey Boy 8 joins us here at Memorial Stadium. Wilcox will pitch. 45, that's going to be another out. That's a grounder to third. Brookins will get to that, and he will toss it over for out number 2. And now Murray. Murray got a single his first time up. Eddie, eat, drink, and be Murray. Wilcox trying to have a better inning here. And 36, and he is going to have a better inning. That's a fly ball to center. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. And Lemon's going to come under that one as well. And he'll make the catch and retire the side. Nice job by Milt Wilcox. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles. Still tied at 1 after 3. Both pitchers are B pitchers in this game. Wilcox allowed 4 earned runs historically in the matchup. Flanagan gave up 5. And that's why I made them B pitchers. Leading off for the Tigers will be Lance Parrish. He sacrificed fly his first time up. Flanagan, he'll go ahead and deal. And 44, and that's a 1. A 1 to 3 is a triple. 4 to 15 a double. That's a 1. Parrish hits one smack right up the middle, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Parrish got very good speed. He's going to slide into third with a triple. So just like that, the Tigers have the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Here's Wackenfuss. He walked his first time up. Infield playing in. And yes, Devonon, I wasn't at that game, but definitely I watched it on TV when he broke the streak. Parrish on at third. Flanagan at third base. Flanagan will pitch. And 13, that's an out. And let's see what it is. And if playing in, and they are playing in, so if playing in, infield single rule. So that is going to be a single past the fielder, and a run will score. That's going to be a single past third. Wackenfuss will get there. Parrish will score. The Tigers have a 2-1 lead. So Wackenfuss will get one past the in on the drawn-in infield, and that will be a base hit for him. Now 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Here's Cabell. Cabell is 0 for 1. Wackenfuss on it first. Still nobody out, top of the 4th. Wackenfuss staying where he is. 33, that's a single for Cabell. It's a base hit. Base hit to left field. Advance if weak arm. Left fielder Lowenstein has a weak arm, and Wackenfuss will make third. So in bat, not a good throw in by Lowenstein. He has a weak arm, and that's going to allow Wackenfuss to get to third. And now the Tigers are beginning to get hits. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Here's Lemon. And Lemon is 0 for 1. Infield is going to play. Lemon does not hit into many double plays, but they're going to play back and try to end this big inning. They're not going to play in. They're going to try to play back here and try to turn 2 and allow the run. Flanagan will pitch to Lemon. 13, that's an out. That's going to be an out, and that will be a ground ball to third base. First and third, play at the plate. Oh, boy, we got to play at the plate. With ground ball to third. So it says runners at first and third, play at the plate. Safe 1 to 3 on a fast run. Safe 1 to 3, out 4 to 6. Well, Wackenfuss is an average runner, so the play is at the plate. So a 1 to 3, Wackenfuss will score. He's out. So they made the play at the plate because the infield was back, not in. Should have had that back there. So they make the play at the plate. So Wackenfuss is out. So Cabell and Lemon will move to first and second. There's one down as they cut off the run. So that will be a fielder's choice. Next batter is Wilson. Wilson's 0 for 1, but now 1 out. As they do make a big play at the plate. Flanagan will go ahead and pitch to Wilson. Runners at first and second now. 42, and that's going to be an out. And it will be another ground ball to third base. Runners at first and second, runners to second and third, batter out. So it's hit to third. The only play they got is to first. So Cabell and Lemon will move up. But there's now 2 away. So a grounder to third. And now 2 down. And if the Orioles only get out of this inning by only giving up a run, that's not bad. Here's Brookins. Brookins is 0 for 1. 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Flanagan trying to limit the damage. Fans here at Memorial Stadium hoping for a good pitch. 25. They'll get it. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Bunbury will come in and get it and retire the side. 1 run on 3 hits. Could have been a lot worse for the Orioles, but they go ahead and get out of it with minimal damage. We go to the bottom of the 4th. John Lowenstein leads off for the O's, and he's 0 for 1. Wilcox will pitch. 34, and that's going to be a grounder to short, picked up there by Trammell. And Trammell will take care of it for out number 1. Singleton is next. He walked his first time up. Wilcox, he will pitch. 46, and that's off the ballpark. That's off the ballpark. Singleton hitting from the left side. That's a 4, and that's going to be a double for Ken Singleton. Singleton hits one right down the line into the corner, and the tying run's at second base. So Singleton gets a big-time 2-bagger. Next batter is Dower, and Dower's 0 for 1. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Tigers lead 2-1. But right now, Orioles trying to tie this game up. Wilcox will pitch. 34, and that's going to be an out. And it's going to be a line out to left field. If the white die is 1, the left fielder makes a sliding catch. That is a 4. That's just going to be a straight line out to left, and the runner Singleton will stay where he is, 2 down. Hard line drive to left field, but Herndon has it, and 2 away. Here's Cruz. Cruz got a double his first time up. And now 2 outs. Wilcox looking in on Cruz. And now the deal. And that's a 31. That's a range play. And that's hit to second. And that ball is hit to Whitaker. Whitaker wasn't too bad. His range is a 10. He's got it. What a play by Whitaker. Gets up. Throws to first. Side retired. No runs and a hit for the Orioles. They strand one, 2-1 after 4. Great play by Whitaker. Good to have you here, Captain Carl 8, as Chuck Rawlings now joins us here at Memorial Stadium. I didn't think Mr. Rawlings would miss a Tiger game. Top of the order for the Cats. Here's Lou Whitaker, who should be in the Hall of Fame. 1 for 2 as a single. 2-1 Tigers. Flanagan. 24. That's going to be an out. It's going to be a ground. That's going to be a ground out to second base, handled easily by Dower, and the throw goes to first. Out number 1. Here's Trammell. Trammell is 0 for 1 with a walk. Flanagan, 23, swing and a miss, struck him out. And that is the second strikeout for Flanagan, 2 away. As I said, he only had 50 of them in 83. And now here's Herndon. Herndon 1 for 2. Traffic was a little tough, but here I am. What do you, Chuck? You know you're supposed to leave early for a Tiger game. Flanagan, 65. That's a possible home run. A 1 to 8. That's a 10. It's not going to be a homer. That's just going to be a hard line drive to center field, And Bunbury's going to get back there, and he is going to make the catch and retire the side. He just missed it. That is a 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Rick Dempsey leads off for the Orioles, and he's 0 for 1. Tigers and Orioles fighting each other for a playoff spot in the 1983 postseason. Pitch from Wilcox. 16. That's an out to ground to first base. Easily picked up by Cabell. And he's going to take it to the bag himself for the out. Here's Bunbury. Bunbury is 0 for 2. Wilcox, he'll pitch. And 54, that's a wild play. Strike 3 of catcher rating G as he frames the pitch. Ball 4 of catcher rating B. Home end gets strike 3. Away end gets ball 4. The catcher for the Tigers is Walkenfuss, and he has a W. Catcher is Walkenfuss, and he has an N. Put the wrong one in there, I believe. Walkenfuss he has an N, so away end gets ball 4. Bunbury will walk. So a walk for Bunbury, and that is the second walk given up by Wilcox. And timeout. I think I did the wrong one here for Walkenfuss, but he's the catcher. N-A-0. So Bunbury on at first. And now here's Ford. Ford is 1 for 2. He has a bomb. Bunbury will hold at first base. Wilcox will pitch. 15, and that's going to be an out. And it's going to be a fly out to center field. That'll be handled there by Lemon, and that is out number 2. So right now, Wilcox having a pretty good game so far. Here's Ripken. Ripken is 0 for 2. Bunbury on at first. Fans here at Memorial Stadium hoping Ripken can do it. Ripken says he wants to play in 2,131 straight games. Nah, he'll never do it. Wilcox, and that's a 12. A single, 1-6. That's a 10. That's not going to be a single. That is going to be a hard line drive to left, and that'll be caught by Herndon, and the inning is over. Nothing across except a walk. After 5, still 2-1 Tigers. Cal Ripken says he wants to play in 2,131 straight games. He wants to break Lou Gehrig's consecutive game record. No chance in hell. He'll never do it. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Lance Parrish leads off for the Tigers. Let's see. Flanagan can pitch to 29, and Wilcox can pitch to 33. So both pitchers still got a lot in the tank. So here's Flanagan against Parrish. Top of the 6th, 2-1. Flanagan, 25. That's a fly ball to left. That'll be handled by Lowenstein, and that's out number 1. Here's Walkenfuss. Walkenfuss 1 for 1, a single and a walk. Flanagan. And 41, that's ball 4. He walked him. So Flanagan will give up the walk, and Walkenfuss trots to first. Second walk given up to Walkenfuss. Third walk by Flanagan. And here's a chance for Cabell. Cabell, very dangerous hitter in 1983 with a .311 average. He is 1 for 2 tonight, though. Walkenfuss on it first. Pitch coming from Flanagan. And 46, that's off the ballpark. That's a 5. And that's going to be fouled away into the stands. And strike 1. They'll do it again. Cabell, Flanagan sets up. Flanagan pitched it right over. Cabell was just a little bit late on the pitch and sent it into down the third base stands. Flanagan, 56, and that is going to be a swing and a miss and a steal right out. That's a big strikeout for Flanagan. That's his third, 2 down. And now Lemon. Lemon is 0 for 2. Flanagan sets up, tries to get out of this little jam. Flanagan's deal. 52, possible strikeout. 18 is a no. Now it's a possible error on the shortstop. Possible one-base error. Ripken didn't make many errors. His error rating is a 6. He's not making one there. Easy play there for Ripken. He's going to throw to second to get Wackenfuss, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the walk. We go to the bottom of the 6th here, and a tight 2-1 game here at Memorial Stadium. Eddie Murray leads off for B-Moore. He's 1 for 2 with a single. 2-1 Tigers, pitcher's duel between Wilcox and Flanagan. A little different than what was actually happened. 13 runs were scored historically in this game. We only got 3. But things can change. Wilcox, 46. That's off the ballpark card. That's an 18. And that's going to be a chance for Murray to stretch a single into a double. That's fielded by the center fielder. Lemon's got it. His assist rating is a 3. A 1-3. Murray is out at second. He is 1 out. Wow, what a base running mistake by Eddie Murray. He'll get the single, but he'll be thrown out by Chet Lemon as Lemon guns down another runner. Stadium groans. I wonder what Murray was thinking on that, trying to take second. He had nobody out. And now here's Lowenstein. A heck of a play by Chet Lemon. Wilcox will pitch to Lowenstein now with 1 away. Wilcox, 35. That's an out. And that is a pop that's popped up to third. Brookins says he'll take it, and he will. And that is out number 2, as XSG2 still has to bring in the one player we know that does not belong in the Hall of Fame. But he is here at Memorial Stadium. Here's Singleton, 1 for 1 with a double and a walk. Yeah, he would never do that because Harold Baines wouldn't get a hit anyway. Wilcox, 62. And that's a strikeout, 1-16. That's a 17. He's not going to strike out, but he is going to fly out. That's going to left. And Lowenstein's going to go ahead and that'll be caught actually by Herndon. And the side is retired. No runs and a hit for the Orioles. And it's still 2-1 after 6. Yeah, I'm sure you meant Hanna-Barbera. XC2. I ought to give you the block dragon for that. And you know what? There you go. Hanna-Barbera. There you go. There's your block dragon. Top of the 7th. Glenn Wilson leads off for the Tigers. He is 0 for 2. Flanagan will go ahead and pitch. And 51, possible strikeout. The 18 is a no. Possible error on the pitcher. That's hit to Flanagan. Flanagan's error rating is a 16. He made some errors on the mound. Will he make one here? Yes, that's going to be an error on Flanagan, and Wilson safe at first. It's a one-base error. That's an E1 on Flanagan, and that is the first error on the Orioles. They had 3 of them in the game historically. So Flanagan makes the first of what there was 3 errors in the game. Here's Brookins. Brookins is 0 for 2. Wilson on it first. He's going to stay put. Flanagan will go ahead, and Chuck Rawlings also wants to go ahead and get a block dragon as well. And I'll go ahead and be more than happy to give one to Chuck Rawlings. There you go, Harry Belafonte. We know who he meant. Wilson on it first. Flanagan, 16. That's an out. And it will be a fly out to left field. And Wilson will stay where he is. And that's out number 1. That ball is caught by Lowenstein. Here's Whitaker. Whitaker is 1 for 3 with a single. Wilson on it first. Flanagan trying to get out of this little jam. 2-1, top of the 7th. Tigers, 2 games. They are 2.5 back of Baltimore. A win here, they get to 1.5 for that second place in the division. Flanagan, 23, a strikeout, 1-11. That's a 16. It won't be a strikeout. That is going to be a ground out to first base. Fielder's choice at second, but a strong arm shortstop starts double play. Ripken has an average arm. That's going to be a fielder's choice. So Wilson is out. Whitaker takes first, 2 down. So fielder's choice for Whitaker. Here comes Trammell. Trammell is 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 away. Trammell very capable of giving the Tigers another run here. Flanagan will be tired after Trammell. Flanagan will pitch. 66. 1-5's a homer. 6-8's a triple. That's a 13. That's going to be a double for Alan Trammell. Will it score Whitaker? Double to center field. Scores on a weak or average arm, but with 2 outs, everyone will score. Whitaker, there is 2 outs. Whitaker comes around. He will score. 3-1 Tigers. Stadium groans. Center fielder was Al Bunbury. He had an average arm anyway, so he would have scored no matter how many outs there were. But that's going to be an RBI double for Trammell. And now Flanagan is tired. The next batter is Herndon. Flanagan is still a B pitcher unless he allows another run. Herndon now 1 for 3. Now 3-1 Tigers. Question is now, do you let Flanagan pitch? And, he is tired now, but he's still a B pitcher. I think the Orioles have seen enough. That'll be it for Flanagan. Flanagan coming out of the game, and the Orioles will go to the bullpen. And they're going to go with, coming on to pitch for the Orioles will be Sammy Stewart. 9 wins, 4 losses, 7 saves, a 142 whip. And he's going to be a C pitcher. So Stewart coming on to pitch, but he'll be a C. Flanagan leaves with the L. Stewart can pitch to 14 batters. We'll see how long he stays out there. So here's Sammy Stewart against Herndon. 3-1 Tigers, top of the 7th. Stewart will pitch. 45, and he is a C pitcher. And it would be a walk 1-16. That is a 6, and I walked him. Because Stewart was a C pitcher, he gives up a big walk. And now a chance for Parrish. He would have been out if it wasn't for the C. That's why those bullpen results make a difference. So now here's Parrish. He's 1 for 3, tripled and sacrifice fly. 2 outs, runners at first and second, 3-1 Tigers. Stewart will go ahead and pitch. 25. That'll be an out. It's grounded to first base. That'll be taken care of by Murray. Stewart will come over and receive the throw, and that will retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 walk. And it is 3-1 Cats as we go to the bottom of the 7th. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I'll be right back. Don't forget, we got 10-minute ticker coming up after tonight's game. We will decide what game we'll play tomorrow night after the ticker, since we are in the final week. Bottom of the seventh here, Tigers have a 3-1 lead. Rich Dower leads off for the Orioles. He is 0 for 2. Dower, he's going to bat. The reason he had a lot of at-bats, he was a main player, and I usually don't take out main players. So Wilcox will pitch to Dower here. And 54, that's off the 54 chart. And it says bases empty, go to Wilder chart. So now we'll go to the bases empty Wilder chart. Strike 3, catcher drops ball, throws runner out at first unless batter's run rating is an F. Well, Rich Dower's run rating is an A. And that's going to be strike 3, dropped there by Walkenfuss. And he's going to throw to first to get Dower, and that's out number 1. So that will go as a strikeout for Wilcox, and that'll be his 4th. And there is 1 down. Here's Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 2. That is Wilcox's 3rd K. Cruz is 1 for 2. He's got a double. Wilcox will pitch. And 12. That's an out. And that is going to be a hard line drive right to the first baseman. That'll be caught by Cabell. That's out number 2. Line out to first. 2 down. And now Dempsey. Dempsey is 0 for 2. Wilcox looking on. Fans here at Memorial Stadium hoping that maybe Dempsey can get something going. Wilcox, 54. That's again off the Wilder chart. And now it says go to the Wilder chart once again. And then it says bases empty Wilder, go to Wildest chart. Oh, okay. So we got something interesting going on. Bases empty Wildest. Pop out to shallow center field, caught by second base. Collision. Roll a D6. All right. So let's roll a D6 here. It's a 2. If 4, the second baseman is hurt. If 6, the shortstop is hurt. If 2, the center fielder is hurt. Well, that's a 2, and that means the center fielder, Chet Lemon, is hurt. Now the question is, and it says the player misses the rest of the game and the number of extra games included. There is not, unlike inside pitch, where you actually roll to see if the player actually stays in the game or not. If a player is automatically hurt in the ball game, he is automatically out. So that what was that? So that was a pop out to shallow center. So we're going to call that a pop out to center field. But Chet Lemon is going to be done, and he's coming out of the game. But remember, though, this is the regular season. Full-time injuries are only in the postseason. Game day injuries only in the regular season. So we need a new center fielder for the Tigers, and that is going to be Kirk Gibson. So out comes Lemon, and in comes Gibson. He's going to be center, 10-A-0-15. 10-A-0-15. So now Kirk Gibson will come in and play center field for the rest of the game. However, it was still a 1-2-3 inning. 3-1 Tigers after 7. We go to the top of the 8th. Sammy Stewart will stay on the mound. And Johnny Walkenfuss leads off for the Cats. He's 1 for 1, single, but walked twice. Stewart will pitch. And 22, that's a walk. And Walkenfuss will trot to first. And Walkenfuss has walked for the 3rd time today. So that is a walk there for Walkenfuss. The batter now is Cabell. And Cabell is 1 for 3 with a single. Walkenfuss on at first. Top of the eighth, 3-1. Stewart will go ahead and pitch. And 25, that's an out. And it's going to be a fly out to left field. Super fast runner advances. Fast runner 2 unless strong arm. Walkenfuss is an average runner. He'll stay at first. That's out number 1 on a fly out to left. And that will be handled by Lowenstein. Now batting for the Tigers is the new center fielder, Kirk Gibson. 227 average, 15 homers, 51 RBIs in 83. Gibson has hit, of course, one of the greatest home runs in World Series history. Stewart will pitch to Gibby. And 15, swing and a miss, struck him out. He'll go ahead and get Gibson. And that is the second out. Gibson did strike out a lot that year. Here's Wilson. Wilson is 0 for 3, but reached on an error his last time up. Walkenfuss on first. Stewart. 34, and that's going to be a base hit off of Stewart's card. That's a single. Base hit, and that will be a base hit to right field. Walkenfuss will hold at second. So the runners will move station to station on a single by Wilson. That's his first hit of the ball game. Here's Brookie, and he's 0 for 3. 2 outs here, top of the eighth. Stewart looking in on Brookins. The fans here, Memorial, hoping for a good pitch. And 61, they'll get that. Cold strike 3 on Brookins. The inning is over. And Brookins goes down, so no runs and a hit for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Still 3-1 in favor of the Cats. Milt Wilcox still has plenty left in the tank. And you're going to let him pitch here in the bottom of the eighth. It is the top of the order for the Orioles. Here's Al Bumbry, and he's 0 for 2 with a walk. I believe Aurelio Rodriguez is getting ready for the Tigers in case they need him. Aurelio Lopez. Aurelio Lopez is getting ready just in case. They're going to let Wilcox. Wilcox did have 9 complete games, though. Wilcox will go ahead and pitch. 46, that's off the ballpark. That's a 16, and he is a lefty, and that's going to be a foul ball into foul territory. Third baseman Tom Brookins is going to make the catch. It's out number 1. That's going to be a pop out to third. Foul out to third base. In foul territory, Brookins will make the play for out number 1. Here's Ford. Ford is 1 for 3. He hit a bomb in the ball game. Pitch from Wilcox. And 55, and Ford's going to come through with a big hit, and that's going to be a double. Hits that past second and goes through the gap. Ford will hold at second base on a big double. And now here's Ripken. Ripken is 0 for 3. You kind of think he's due. 1 out, bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Tigers. Wilcox looking in on Ripken. Wilcox hoping he can get a good pitch. Fans here at Memorial Stadium know Ripken is very capable of hitting 1 out. Here comes the pitch. And 26 against a lefty would be a single. Wilcox is a righty. That is going to be an out. And it will be a fly out to left field. And Ford is going to hold at second base, 2 outs. Very hard hit ball to left, but Herndon has got it, 2 away. So leaving Wilcox might have been the right idea, but now here's Murray. Murray 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Ford on at second. Wilcox trying to go after Murray. 2 men down, bottom of the 8th. Wilcox gets the sign, and now he'll pitch. 61, swing and a miss. Struck him out, and the inning is over. What a job by Wilcox. No runs and a hit, 3-1 after 8. And judging from Chuck Rawlings, he says he wants Senor Smoke for the 9th, and he will get him. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Leading off for the Tigers will be Lou Whitaker. He is 1 for 4 with a single. Stewart, he can still pitch, but I think the Orioles are going to go ahead and bring in a new pitcher here. They're only down 3-1, and they're going to go ahead and bring out their guy. So coming on to pitch for the Orioles will be Tippy Martinez. 9 wins, 3 losses, 21 saves, and he is going to be a B pitcher. So Tippy Martinez will come out to pitch. He'll be a B pitcher. And Whitaker will lead off the top of the 9th. 3-1. Tippy will pitch. Tippy had a 110 whip that year. Tippy, 13 and a walk, 1-2. And that is a 1. He walked him. I don't believe it. A 1-2. He gets a walk. That is a 1. Wow. He walks Whitaker. Big run on first base. The batter is Trammell. Trammell very good at sacrifice. But he hits the ball pretty well, too. I wonder, Trammell, do you lay down a bunt here and try to get the runner over? Wow, I can't believe Whitaker walked. A 1-2 he walks, and he does. So the question is, do you try to bunt or do you hit away? He is a 5 bunter. I don't know. Chuck Rawlings, what are you going to do? Trammell, a good bunter. What would you do here? I think with a 319 average, I think you swing away. Chuck Rawlings says bunt. Okay, so we will bunt. So the first roll determines if the bunt is laid down. And that is a 1. It is laid down. It is laid down, and that's laid down to Tippy Martinez. He has a weak arm. So that means, so now let's see if they get it. That is a 2, and that goes off the advanced bunt chart. If roll 2 is a 1. It's not. That's a 2. So that's a roll 2, and that's going to be a good bunt. Whitaker's going to get to second. The throw goes to first to get Trammell, and he is out. But now a big run at second base. Still have issues with the bunt system a little bit. So sacrifice hit to Martinez. The only play he had was to first, and Whitaker goes to second. There is 1 out. And now here's Herndon. Herndon 1 for 3, a single and a walk. Whitaker on at second. And I don't think you walk Herndon. I think you pitch to Herndon. And then you have to pitch to Parrish. You can really pick your poison. Martinez is going to pitch to Herndon. Here comes the deal. 26 against the lefty. It's a base hit. And that's what it is. That's going to be a single for Larry Herndon. It's a base hit to right field. But there's going to be an assist. So the ball is hit to right field. Whitaker has already been thrown out at the plate. Whitaker coming around third. Herndon going to make second no matter what. Whitaker coming to the plate. Right fielder is Dan Ford. He has an assist rating of a 1. The only way he gets Whitaker is on a 1. He's safe. And the Tigers get a run. It's 4-1. Stadium groans. That's going to be a single. I'm going to call that a single and an extra base for Larry Herndon as he does he's a fast runner. The batter does go to second, and Herndon there. It's now 4-1 Tigers. You don't see great managing. Oh, wait, you do. Here's Parrish. Parrish is now 1 for 4 with a triple. And now it is 4-1. Martinez will pitch to Parrish. Still 1 out, top of the 9th. Martinez, 21, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Parrish will go down on K's. Second out of the inning. A chance now for Walkenfuss. Walkenfuss is 1 for 1, but he's walked 3 times in a single. So Herndon on that second. Walkenfuss the batter. 4-1 Tigers. Tippy Martinez trying to get out of the jam. Tippy will pitch. 15, he will get out of the jam, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field. And Bunbury's going to go ahead and get to it. Makes the catch. Retires aside. 1 run, 1 hit, a sacrifice bunt, and a walk. And the Tigers have a 4-1 lead. But will we see some 9th inning magic? Wilcox coming out of the game, and they're going to go with Senor Smoke, and that will be coming on to pitch for the Tigers is Aurelio Lopez. 9 wins, 8 losses, 18 saves, a 118 whip. And he is going to be, he's going to be a C pitcher, so that could be interesting. So Lopez is going to be a C pitcher. Did not have a good bullpen outing. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. So here comes John Lowenstein. He will lead off for the O's. Lowenstein is 0 for 3. Aurelio Lopez trying to get the game done. 33, and that's going to be ball 4. He walked him. And that's drawn by Lowenstein. Lowenstein draws a walk, and already a man is on. And now here's Singleton. Singleton is 1 for 2, a double and a walk. So Lowenstein on at first. Lopez now has to deal with Singleton. 4-1 Tigers. Orioles need 3 to tie, 4 to win. Pitch from Lopez. 41, that's ball 4. He walked Singleton. And now the tying run coming to the plate. Another walk. And the batter is Dower, but we may see a pinch hitter for Dower. And let's see, Dower is at second base. And do I have another second baseman? Yes, I do. I have Sakata. And they are going to bring Dower back. Dower coming out of the game and coming on to pinch hit for the Orioles will be John Shelby. 258 average, 5 homers, 27 RBIs. Shelby will now take over, will come out of the game, as the Orioles will now need a second baseman. It'll probably be Len Sakata coming in at second. So here's John Shelby. Runners at first and second. Bottom of the 9th, nobody out. Lopez has already walked the first 2 batters. Remember, the Orioles won the 1983 World Series. They didn't do it just by going away quietly into the night. Lopez will pitch. 46, it's off the ballpark. That is a 3, and Shelby hitting from the left side, and that's going to be a double. Shelby smacks one, a double. All runs will score. Lowenstein will score. Singleton will score. Shelby to second, it's 4-3. Stadium cheers. Yay! That's a ballpark double by John Shelby. Will bring in all the runs automatically, all score. And now the tying run is at second, and here's Cruz. And we may see a pinch hitter for him as well. Still no one out in the bottom of the 9th. And we'll see a pinch hitter for Cruz, I think. He's at third base. And coming on to pinch hit for Cruz, he'll come out of the game. And they're going to go ahead with Jim Washer and Dwyer. 286 average, 8 homers, 38 RBIs. Gary Renicky will probably take over at third. So now second and third base now need players. If it gets that far. So here's Jim Dwyer to pinch it against Lopez. Shelby on at second base. Tying run. Nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth. Lopez will go ahead and pitch. 31. It's a range play single to second. And that's going to be hit to Whitaker. Whitaker's range is a 10. He can't get it. It's going to be a base hit. Shelby will hold it third. It's only a one-base single on 31 range plays with nobody out. And is that going to be it for Lopez? He can't get anybody out. Now the batter is Dempsey. Dempsey is going to bat. Runners at the corners, no one out. Infield playing in. And is that the end for Lopez? Lopez can't get anybody out. And the question is, if you're the Tigers, who do you go with here? Since Lopez comes in and can't get it done. And they are going to... Chuck, do you let him pitch or do I bring in somebody else? Do you let Lopez try to get this game still, or do I bring in somebody else? What do you want to do, Chuck? I'll let you make the call here. Bring in someone else. That is it for Lopez, as he couldn't get anything done. And we'll see a new pitcher now for the Tigers. And they're going to go with Juan Berenger. 9 wins, 5 losses, a save, a 115 whip. So Juan Berenger is going to try to close this game out. And he's going to be a B pitcher. So Berenger will be a B pitcher for this game. And now he'll pitch to Dempsey. Infield is in, 4-3 Tigers now. As the Orioles trying to get this game in. Berenger will go ahead and pitch. 32, that's going to be an out. But the question is, what kind of out's going to be? It's going to be a fly ball to center field. It says runner at third, all advance. Shelby comes in to score. We're tied. Stadium cheers. Yay! And it also says, on a fly out to center field, faster, super fast runner advances. So Dwyer's actually going to make second base. And there's out number 1. And we're tied at 4. No lead is safe on RJL Network. Game of the Year candidate, absolutely. And now the winning run is at second base as Dempsey gets credit for the sacrifice fly. And here comes Bunbury. Bunbury is 0 for 3 with a walk. Dwyer on at second. He's got great speed. 1 out, bottom of the ninth, now tied at 4. Tigers can't get this done. Fans here at Memorial Stadium are now going crazy. Berenger will pitch to Bunbury. Berenger will pitch. 56, swing and a miss, struck him out. He got him. He will go ahead and get Bunbury. That's out number 2. And now here's Dan Ford. Ford is 2 for 4, a double and a bomb. Dwyer on at second. Juan Berenger trying to get this game into extras. The fans here at Memorial Stadium hoping for a big-time hit. Berenger looks up at Ford. The fans are loud, waving the towels. Dwyer on at second. Berenger gets the sign from Walkenfuss. Here comes the pitch. 46. It's off the ballpark. That's a 17. And that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. That's going to be a stretch single into a double or out at second, but all runners advance 2 bases. And if I'm correct, the run scores before the plate. Well, that's a good question. Does the run score before he's out at second? Does the run score before he's out at second? That's a good question. Says all runners advance 2 bases, so Dwyer would score. There are 2 outs, but does the run score first, or does there's the batter out at first, or the batter out at second? You would say yes if auto 2 base. Then I agree with that. That ball is hitting to left field. That's gonna be a base hit. Ford rounding for second, but it won't matter. Dwyer comes around third. He will score. Walk off. Orioles winning in the bottom of the 9th. Stadium cheers. Yay! What a comeback by the Baltimore Orioles. Dan Ford hits a big-time base hit. Dwyer comes around, he scores. Orioles win the game 5-4. And they're going ahead and they're mobbing Dan Ford and also mobbing Dwyer, as the Orioles are going to go ahead and get this win, scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. The Orioles didn't win the '83 World Series just by going quietly into the night, and they pull it out of their ass. 5-4 Orioles. What a win here for Baltimore. Final line score coming up. 4 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks. That was huge. The walks were huge. And a sacrifice fly, actually 3 hits, 4 runs on 3 hits and 2 walks. For the Orioles, 5 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. For the Tigers, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher is Tippy Martinez. He's going to wind up with the win. Aurelio Lopez is going to wind up with the loss. And that is how this game goes. The Baltimore Orioles will now advance to 95-63. The Tigers now drop to 92-67. And if the Milwaukee Brewers win, they will be tied with them for that 3rd spot. But we are not done. The big 10-minute ticker is coming up next. Now that is a great game of Fall Classic Baseball. Wow, you bring in your closer, and your closer just could not do it. Aurelio Lopez, 2 consecutive walks, and that was it. Open up the floodgates. What a bad loss for the Tigers, and that loss is bad enough. It could cost them a playoff spot. It could cost them the postseason, that loss. It is now time for the 10-minute ticker, brought to you by FastScore Baseball. So the Tigers dropped 5-4 to Baltimore, and now we'll see how the rest of the majors goes. First of all, we'll do the meaningless games. Boston and the Yankees. Yankees already number 1 throughout. Red Sox 5-22, that is 2. Yankees 13-55, and that is 7. And the Yankees having a heck of a year in this replay. White Sox at Oakland. This is meaningless. The Athletics are out. White Sox 14-44, that is 5. Athletics 8-12, that's 1, a win for the Pale Hose. Kansas City at Seattle. Royals 12-52, that is 6. Mariners 2-41, that's 3, a win for the Royals. Giants and the Reds. Giants 12-24, that is 3. Reds 22-12, that's 2, and the Giants are going to win the ball game. Mets and the Pirates. Mets 2-21, and that is 1. Pirates 6-62, and that is 6. And my Mets just can't get a win. Now, let's take a look at some of the games that do matter. First off, Cleveland at Milwaukee. With the Tigers losing, the Brewers now have a big chance to tie the Tigers for third spot. Now, if you're wondering, the Tigers, after this loss, are now 5-3 on the board. The Brewers are 4-2 on the board. So right now, the Brewers, they have 4 wins. The Tigers have 5 wins. And that's how the board record stands. But right now, Cleveland at Milwaukee. A chance for the Brewers to tie the Tigers. Do they do it? Indians 4-63. That is 6. Brewers 15-34. That is 4. And the Brewers get spoiled by the Indians. And they stay 1 game back. Texas and Minnesota. The Rangers are 81. The Rangers are 81-77. A win for the Rangers tonight. They are in the postseason. They got to get to 82 wins. They will clinch a spot. They're playing the Twins. Twins trying to go ahead and hold off. Rangers 81-77. A Ranger win, they're in. Do they clinch the playoffs? Rangers 564. That is 7. Twins -262. That is 5. The Texas Rangers have 82 wins. They are in the postseason. The Rangers have made it. We will have 5 teams in the American League. The Rangers are in with 82 wins. They get it. And they did not have that record. Historically, I think they were 79-83. The Rangers are in the playoffs. And there will be 1 wild card game in the American League. But who will they face? The Tigers, the Orioles, or the Brewers? Now, here's the thing also. I also didn't mention, with the Baltimore Orioles winning this ball game and going to 95-63, and Milwaukee losing their game, going to 91-68, the Baltimore Orioles are in the playoffs. They clinch. And they've clinched a tie for second. As the Tigers losing now, 95-67. So Orioles' magic number is 1 to clinch second, the number 3 seed. And that would be huge. They avoid the wild card series. So the Tigers, so Baltimore clinches. They are in. They are in the playoffs. Detroit, not quite yet, and neither Milwaukee. So we now have 2 teams that clinch tonight. Now, Atlanta and Houston. The Braves have already clinched the National League West. The Astros, they cannot lose 2 more games. They're at 500. Atlanta playing the Astros. Do the Astros get back above 500? Braves 845. That is 5. Astros 313. That is 0. And that's going to be a win for the Braves. And now the Astros are 1 game left from being eliminated. Now, the Dodgers and the Padres. The Padres have a 1-game lead on the Dodgers. If San Diego wins both of these games, I think they're going to clinch a tie for that spot. I don't think they can clinch officially tonight. They would go to 82. The Dodgers would go to 80. It's still 162. Not quite yet. But if the Dodgers lose both games, they could find themselves out. So we'll see what happens. Dodgers and the Padres, a huge doubleheader. Game number 1. Dodgers, 831, and that is 3. Padres, 125, that's 2. The Dodgers win the first. Dodgers, 425, that is 2. Padres, 261, that is 5. They will split the twin bill. So the Padres get a win and a loss. The Dodgers get a win and a loss. And they're going down to the wire for that final spot, for 2 spots in the National League West. That is your 10-minute ticker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Now, we got to choose tomorrow's game for September 30th. So let's have a look here at the schedule for September 30th. The Yankees play Baltimore, but the Orioles have already clinched a playoff berth. I'm going to say no on that. Cleveland and Boston, no. Milwaukee at Detroit. You kind of think you got it. That's definitely a possible. White Sox and Seattle, no. California, Texas, no. Minnesota, Toronto, no. Reds and Astros, I'm going to say no. Giants and Dodgers, no. Pirates and Phillies, no. Atlanta and the Padres, important game. I'm going to say no. Cubs and the Cardinals. We're going to stay with the Tigers. We're going to stay with them. We're going to go to September 30th. We're going back to Tigers Stadium. It will be inside pitch. The Milwaukee Brewers will take on the Detroit Tigers. Bob Gibson, not the Bob Gibson, but another Bob Gibson, will pitch for the Brewers. Juan Berenger will pitch for the Tigers. Huge game tomorrow night. Only 3 days left in this season. And we'll start with the Brewers and the Tigers tomorrow night on the network. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out to the turnstiles. Subscribe if you're not done so. Make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. The Baltimore Orioles commit grand larceny. The Tigers call the police, but the Orioles get away with it. 5-4, a 4-run bottom of the 9th inning. And we'll see what happens tomorrow night. We'll see if the Tigers can shake that off. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. 3 days left.